Oh boy, we're
God.
already here?
Oh man, we're starting off with this. Wow. Man, two people that have now tried to kill children, and they've both been Falco. It's kind of weird that it happened twice. Like,
Yeah,
right?
no, you're right, you're right.
We have the original crew just together. Like,
we're back.
If anything, this is just like season 1. Titans are running amok, and the gang's back together to stop them.
It all comes full circle.
It really does.
It all comes full circle, except, but now they're coming back to Eren. Oh no, there's poetics to it. Oh no. It's...
Well, even in season 1, they were fighting Eren. Remember when he lost control? Anyways.
Yeah, okay.
Hi, I'm Abraham, and this is my co-host, Benjamin Collins. Today we're talking about Attack on Titan on this episode of 2Fast2Movie. The name of this episode is called Pride. Really phenomenal episode. I'm actually kind of blown away.
Like, again, like we've been on the like much lower run, but like the way that this episode was structured, the amount of hype you feel at the end, the reintroduction and just melding back of characters that we love it's done so well.
And the name of the episode is actually a callback to something that Flock said last week, where he said to the volunteers as he shot someone, like he died because he was too prideful, but is pride worth dying for? And according to everybody in this episode, in the hero shot that we see at the final moments, it is.
And well, I think there is a little bit more than pride going into it, and I also think that like
it's like self-respect. Like you can't.
It's self-respect. It's preservation of like people that you love,
your morals.
Yeah, like, like to simplify it as pride is too much, and that's the idea. Is that Flock is so in his own world, in his own bubble, that he doesn't actually see that. Yeah. So to label this as pride is one aspect that Flock might agree with, but to ironically say that you're dying for pride, as this episode entails, I kind of fucking love.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like, there's nothing more fucking amazing than Connie just doing a little pose, like a teapot pose, and going, "Hey, we're gonna save the fucking world." Like,
except like add like a undertone of like this fucking ass hat. Yeah. Like under.
I don't want this, but there's no
like
choice.
It's like you can tell. I want to say the difference between Connie's reaction when he sees Annie versus Reiner is palpable.
Oh yeah,
like the fact that Connie immediately just breaks out into being a kid again and laughing at Annie the first time that they see each other
versus like, hey fuckhead, wake up. It's basically what it was.
Yeah.
All right. Well, this is a great episode, so we're going to go ahead and jump into the reaction, and we will see you in a moment for the post-discussion.
It's never a good sign. Oh, psychological warfare. Cool. Good.
Oh, it's
it's hockey.
Hockey?
Hanji.
Hockey? What'd you just call her? Stop the episode.
Who was that man?
That was the guy who gave up the information about Lord Rice.
Yes, and then told them that
like everybody fulfills a role. Oh, here we go. Yep. At everyone.
Oh, yeah. You're not using ODM gear.
Or at the very least, swords.
Oh, I wonder if we're going to explore the, like, not being able to control Titan powers again. Are we going to do that again? Oh boy, we're already here?
Oh man, we're starting off with this. Wow, cool.
There's something interesting I want to show you. Have you ever seen an upside-down Titan? Jesus Christ. Connie? Oh god, why did they draw his face like that? I hate it.
That's kind of how it was, because he's like distressed.
He looks like the laughing salesman from Majora's Mask.
That's how they drew it in the manga, I think. They drew it like he.
Oh god, Connie!
Because he's like, yeah, help me brush the teeth. Everything's fine. Excuse me.
Oh,
yeah,
he's having that nose broken in him. No, buddy. Oh.
I mean, what's more important, his life or the Alliance?
Yeah.
Like, man, two people that have now tried to kill children, and they've both been Falco. It's kind of weird that it happened twice. Like,
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
All those bozos extras in the front have the same face. That's how you know that you should not be a Jaegerist, when they're drawn the same.
Yep. What? That's our reintroduction?
Yeah. This is like season 3 when the Colossal Titan transformed and you just started stress laughing.
Oh, how perfect. Oh, she walked up and now they're all gone.
Well, I think the plan was like, hey, I'm gonna go get food, just wait here.
Yeah, no, that's fair. No, don't you touch Onyankopon.
Yelena, though.
Yeah, Yelena's fair game. We're okay with Yelena. You do not touch the boy.
It's still Black History Month. Come on.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah, is everybody a Jaeger still? We still Jaegerist?
Yeah, are we still Jaegerist in the fucking comment section?
It's not the comment.
It's TikTok.
Yeah, our comments, no.
Our comments are a good vibe, actually. I like our comment section. Sean? That's a lot of gunshots. Nice! Get Flock! No! What? Yes! Yes! Yes!
They always pull the shit where they don't tell you the plan, and then they do a flashback later that's like, here's what happened.
Well, that's the only way you can make a plan work in television.
Yeah. Yeah. Translation, you are fucked.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Hell
yeah.
Oh my god, that's such a good shot.
Oh, I fucking love that.
That hero shot. That's so much better than what they did in the manga. Oh, my god.
That was fire. Oh, Connie with the fucking... Connie's arc in this episode.
Honestly, Connie's been going through an arc just silently in the background without any, like, it's been stewing for 4 years.
All right, let's save it for the full-blown conversation.
We'll see you guys then. And we're back.
Yes.
Oh man, lots to talk about.
Yeah.
I feel like we should just jump right in. Start of the episode. Man gets shot in like the first 10 seconds.
Nothing like good old Hanji / hockey. Just with the.
That was so fucking funny when you called her hockey.
I don't know why. For some reason, One Piece just like I haven't read it in ages. I haven't watched it in ages. But for some reason, it's just like tricked into my head. Just like her name's Hockey.
You also probably missed that she was like shaking and crying as she was like
pulling
the trigger.
I did catch on to that. Like,
I'm just going through it.
I mean, to be fair, she did almost die. She's facing a mutiny. Mm-hmm. And things aren't really looking up for her, like at all in the beginning of this episode.
They're going to be wanted criminals for the rest of their lives on the island. Yeah, it's not looking good. Levi has seen better days. His face is like it's blown up in like 2 places and it had to be stitched back together.
Oh gosh.
He lost at least 2 fingers that we like have seen.
Yeah.
And you made it a point that he's not going to be using ODM gear.
He can't use ODM. Well, we've seen that the way that ODM gear is used is through triggers.
No, well, that's the new one.
That's the new one.
The gun ones do. But Levi, if you remember, always use swords.
No, I'm talking about the actual releasing of the pins that move.
Oh, was that trigger also?
Yeah, those are also trigger-based.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Yeah, it's not... It's... The swords themselves, like, had triggers on them.
Yeah, and he's literally got three fingers.
He's got the 2 fingers that we literally have deemed useless.
Here's
as
the
humanity.
thing. If it were anybody else, I would agree with you. If it were anyone else, literally, if it were even like, I'm not gonna lie, even if it was Mikasa, I'd be like, you might be done for a little bit. Levi?
Well, again, I fully believe that Isayama did this because he was like, well, this arc doesn't work if he's like at full power. It just doesn't. Like, I fully see like Isayama wrote himself into a little bit of a corner. He's like, I made this character too strong. I'm not going to murder him yet, but...
You don't know that. You could live.
I'm just saying, I think he's on the table. I think Hanji's on the table. I think, honestly, like, a couple characters in this cast, like, Armin and Mikasa go last.
Yeah, because they're friends of Eren.
Yeah, they're friends of Eren. They might die, but they will be the last to go.
And maybe some of the Titan. What do you think? Annie, Reiner, Gabby, Falco.
Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Connie and Jean are kind of like top of the chopping block. I think.
Oh man, really?
Yeah, because ultimately they're supporting cast members.
So you see this as nearly everyone dying except for Mikasa and Armin.
I am just saying. If there's a list, and Isayama has to kill characters off in a list, and I'm just not saying that he has a quota, but he might. Mm-hmm. If he has a quota, he's going to go in a
There's an order.
There is an order.
Yeah.
There is an order to characters that will go.
There's a billing.
Yeah, exactly. Reiner's at the bottom only because he just likes Reiner too much, and Reiner should have died too many times.
Yep.
And he's just never going to kill Reiner until the moment's just right.
Mm-hmm. Well, we will have to wait and see if that prediction goes off. You kind of went off a little bit, but it's okay. Really, we should just be talking about the deal that Hanji makes with Magath.
Yeah.
And that forming of the alliance, which we're going to talk about the alliance like later on. I guess, what did you think about that scene in and of itself? Levi talking with Magath.
Well, it's essentially picking up right where we left off last episode. And this is actually... this is literally where end of the last episode. I was like, they're finally going to have the conversation about like, hey, we got to work together. Otherwise, we're all going to die. Mm-hmm. And that's literally that is literally the conversation that they're having. It's like, hey, this is bad.
Yeah. There's nothing that brings together enemies like another enemy.
Yeah.
That's actually, it's, yeah.
Well, I will say the fact that Levi woke up and immediately just went, where's the gorilla is...
He really did. He's like, where the fuck is he?
Like, forget the fact that he just experienced the because we know that he has Eldian blood based off of the fact that we saw him in the paths of Conchi in that moment. We also know that he just in that moment just decided, where's Zeke?
Yeah,
where's Zeke? And then the first thing that he says to Magath is like, I also want to kill Zeke. So fortunately for you, our interests are aligned.
Yep.
Like, I mean, that's just how Levi is as a person.
I want to kill things. Help me kill something.
Well, I want to kill this one particular thing that I failed at doing previously.
So sad, honestly.
Yeah.
That Zeke has been the bane of his existence for 40 years.
Since Erwin. Erwin, yeah.
It's kind of crazy. But anyways, we'll talk about the alliance a little bit more later. For now, we should talk about Connie. Oh, sorry.
Well, no, I was going to say the nice thing about this is that the... I think that the purpose of bookending this episode the way that they did is because, of course, it ends with the alliance.
Yeah.
And, I wasn't expecting this entire episode to be focused on that being forged. I thought that this was actually going to take, the better part of the season, but...
Well, you did... Yeah, you said that it was all gonna culminate in, some sort of action.
Yeah.
So now that the alliance is formed... We're going to have to
get to that action and see what that's going to be.
Yep. Anything else you want to say about this scene, or just Hanji, that hot bod that everyone's thirsting over on Twitter?
Here's the thing. I get the Hanj thirst. I do. I understand.
The scarred Levi shirtless.
Oh,
Yeah.
I haven't seen the thirsting over scarred shirtless Levi.
It was crazy when the manga came out.
Excuse me, ma'am. I don't know who's thirsting over Levi. It's gender non-specific.
What the fuck? What do you mean you don't know who's thirsting over what?
No, I know everyone's thirsting over Levi. I'm just talking about how I should. Anyway,
Attack on Titan fans have a very weird fascination with characters that are dying and their hotness. Same thing with
he's literally almost dead.
Same thing.
That's a paraplegic there.
You want to know what's crazy? Same thing with Galliard when he died. When he came out of that body,
I remember that.
Everybody was like, what? He's like, what? It's like that song, like, why do I feel like this? Like when you get dumb bum be dumb bum. Yeah, that meme.
Yeah. No, I know exactly.
We're a fucked up audience. We really are.
I think that Isayama has just killed too many people, and it's started to mess with. It's just started to mess with our sense of attraction.
Sure. Okay, let's unpack that. Never. Next, let's talk about Connie and Falco and that whole.
No, keep going.
Okay. Let's talk about Connie and Falco. Connie feels bad, man.
Yeah, I mean, why is this the episode where everything's going off the rails?
It's fine.
Connie's been quietly going through a character arc in the background of everything. Yeah. And like really kind of letting it shine. I mean, I will say, what a rookie mistake that the anime moment of you talking to yourself is also what tips off Falco. The self-awareness of Isayama to be like, well, he was talking about it to himself last night.
I honestly forgot all about that moment. So when he was like, I heard you talking last night, I was like, oh, fuck. Like, he heard about Sasha. He heard about
Yeah. No, it's bad.
And then he does the fucking excuse, the classic, like, hey, this is a tourist attraction, and actually, we brushed this Titan's teeth for fun?
Yes, children, come clean my oven. Like, yeah, it's it really the same
was.
Vibe.
It was.
Also, the fact that he had the clearly this was the lie that he was going to use beforehand, because he had the brushes. But again, that fucking
the face,
the Happy Mask salesman. I had the name of it down. The name of that character.
I mean, it's okay. You thought of it now, and it's very accurate.
Yeah, it's. First of all, adapted fantastically. Got to see the manga panel
3 times now that the anime has done the faces justice. Yelena, this one with Connie, and also Annie's like. I need to eat because I've been away for 4 years. Like a lot of good faces. This season.
It's everything about that just worked really well. I will say the poor Connie though on this entire thing.
Here's the thing, Connie even said, like when he was like when Falco was like, you lied about us knowing each other. My friend killed Sasha. Are you kidnapping me for revenge? And Connie's like, no, that's not it. Because I believe him.
Yeah, no, he's being truthful. It's nothing personal, kid.
It's like, I just want my mom back.
Yeah.
So
Connie hit a fucking breaking point when the rumbling started, and he's just been on that downward spiral. And it really took Armin being like, "You do not feed that kid. If anything, I get your mom back."
Actually, real quick, it hasn't even been the rumbling. It's really been since Eren left and turned. Because if you remember when he came back, when everybody came back to Paradise, and he was the first one to be like, we need to be prepared to cut him down. Yeah. Because from his perspective, Annie betrayed him. Reiner and Bertolt betrayed him. Now Annie's betraying him, and he still doesn't have anything to show for it. No family.
Yeah.
No one really. I don't think anybody in the cast has had a family member turn into a Titan.
No, and here's the thing. I think almost everyone all of the like people from Paradise in the cast have lost parents. None of them have had the possibility of bringing them back,
and the constant reminder of like knowing that that's possible, and that
not only that, like they know from like statements from Ymir that Eren would have witnessed and everything, that when you're a Titan, you're still conscious the entire time.
It's like a dream.
You're living in this endless nightmare of just being stuck like that.
Yep.
So he also knows that his mom's in pain. And that's like one of the things that when they're like cutting down the former military brass and like they're saying rest in peace to Pixis.
Because it's like
he's suffering while he's in that form.
Yeah.
That is not pleasant.
No.
It's, yeah, like... I will say Armin's decision in this, in order to actually de-escalate everything,
Yes.
very brilliant move. Also very foolish, which is certainly foreshadowed by the fucking instant depiction of Erwin right before he makes that choice.
Here's the thing. I wouldn't call it foolish, because actually it's very calculated when you think about it. Because again, he said, Connie was like, what are you going to do if I didn't save you? He's like,
bring your mom back.
Your mom would be back. The two people who are instrumental in bringing the alliance together would still be alive.
Yeah.
And that's why he even said to Gabby, he's like, Gabby, please forgive Connie.
Because he doesn't know if he's going to make it out.
Yeah. He's like, I'm just going to do it. So, yeah, that is such it was, if there's any doubt that he didn't deserve the power, it's now come to rest.
Yeah.
I mean, he even grapples with it, like saying, like, I don't deserve the power. But like everyone in the audience is like, he's the one.
Yeah, you're the right choice. Because also, I'm not 100% sure Erwin would have continued having the will to fight at this point.
Yeah, because, well, I don't know. It's tough.
Well, no, the amount of people that Erwin personally had sacrificed on, the fact that the fact that he had essentially given up on his dreams of seeing the basement at the point that he led the final charge.
Oh yeah.
And like there was someone
only to be brought back to learn about everything like this.
Yeah,
that would be hell.
Yeah, it would, and like that's the reason why I think Erwin also kind of made the point in his final bit to potentially slap the vial away from Levi, because I think everyone keeps forgetting that it was Levi's choice, but Erwin also, in potentially a moment of
he was hallucinating back to the point where he raised his hand to his father, and asked the question, and then that paired with everything that he'd heard from Kenny. Yeah, about like everybody had to be drunk on something to keep going. Yeah, the fact that Erwin had given up his dream means that if he were to be brought back, he
wouldn't be the same person.
No.
Yeah.
So,
and then Armin never gave up on anything. Armin still had determination. Yeah. Like even through his last moments when he was burning up when facing Bertold.
Because it was all based on a dream of just like, I just want to. Someone needs to see the sea. Like this thing exists, and that naivete is something that they kind of need in this situation. Yeah. Like, yeah, if anybody, he's the perfect candidate to hold the colossal titan.
We stand Armin on this channel.
I did want to quickly talk about Falco, because you did bring up Falco's transformation and the possibility of it. What were you saying in the episode about?
I was curious as to if we were to see a Falco transformation and how quickly that could turn south. So the only Titan shifter that we've ever seen from the moment that they get their Titan powers to
learning how to
use it is Eren, and we see Eren very visibly not having control over his Titan to the point where he would still swing on Mikasa. Yeah, and like people that he knew, he wouldn't try to eat anybody because that's just not in the drive of what one of the nine wants to do. However, like a Berserk Jaw Titan would be a lot of fucking trouble. Yeah, like if in that moment. If in that moment, realizing everything that's going down, if Falco had activated the Jaw Titan instead out of panic, I just kind of had a gut feeling in my stomach for like, is this episode going to be Connie dying because of Falco?
Which would be a fucking crazy way to go.
Yeah, like that's what was going on in my head is like, are we going to lose Connie? Is our last moment with this character going to be him doing something that is almost irredeemable? That again, like he has that moment just like, I want to be a soldier that my mom would be proud of. And like that's one of the reasons why he like ultimately lets this go at the end of the day, because the events of Armin like nearly sacrificing himself snap him out of it.
Yep. Really, just honestly, that first half of the episode with Connie and the Connie Falco dynamic, really amazing. Glad, love it. Really happy with the way that turned out. Mikasa, however, was a goddamn savage in this episode.
Fuck you if you're dying.
I did want to bring up one thing also. There was a translation difference in the manga, or at least a version of the manga that I read, where when I forget her name, I actually don't even think we learned her name.
The character who Mikasa saved when she was a little girl.
The difference is that she says, in this, she says, Eren talked about wanting to throw it away. In the version that I've read and other versions of like translations, it's very pointed in saying he told me to throw this away.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I do want to keep that in mind when we're talking about the scene and I guess Eren. What do you think Eren... I mean, it's pretty clear, like why he wanted.
I mean, yeah, again, Eren is he is the villain, but he is not an inherently evil villain.
No.
And honestly, evil is not even really a word that should be used when describing any of the characters in these shows.
They have like very justifiable. Yeah. They're all going through shit.
Well, I think the funny thing is that we never get a truly evil character because the only people that could have been deemed as evil would have been the actual government systems in Marley that are kind of responsible for everything. Like, even Magath is an Eldian sympathizer that's just in charge of the warrior unit, which is the reason why Magath is still ultimately a likable character, and is one of the reasons why I'm like, that's one of the reasons why Willie Tybur worked with Magath, because I feel like
they knew that shit was fucked.
Yeah, they knew that shit was fucked, and also they knew that Eren was somewhere nearby and was going to do that.
Yeah.
Like, Willie Tybur fully knew that he was going up there to die. I think that the idea that, like, the declaration of war was just one way was kind of a hodgepodge, because Eren was clearly waiting on an opportunity to do something like that anyway.
Yeah.
And also clearly had worked with Zeke. That being said, I think I'm suddenly blanking
on the reasoning for Eren saying to throw away the scarf, or at the very least talking about it, depending on the differences in the translation.
Yeah, I think for me, Eren would have it's very clear that this is God, why?
You think you want me to fill it in for you?
No. I feel like it has to. I feel like it has to be related to Eren's guilt, right? Yeah. Because I was going on the point about him not being evil.
Yeah.
Like, Eren knows that what he's doing is not something that his friends would ask for, and I don't think he's ever expecting to be able to look them in the eye again.
And also, speaking to something that happens later in the episode with the Jaegerists saying, like, with Onyankopon saying, like, you of all people should know that, like, it's horrible to kill senselessly, like, indiscriminately. I guess, does Eren know that? Because that's the thing. We talked about the Jaegerists, but the Jaegerists and the differences between them and the Scouts.
Yeah.
We have not talked about the differences between the Jaegerists and Eren.
So that's the thing, is Eren's psychology is a little bit difficult to grasp. We know that, first of all, we know that he has sociopathic tendencies. Yeah. We know that, like, he was fully capable of murder at a very young age.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very easily.
Very calculated. Like, he did not get emotional after he killed his first person.
They deserved it. They were actually demons in disguise.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's very precise what's going on there.
That's still like the fucking wildest thing that he said. And he was like 10.
Yeah, I know. So, like, here's the thing. I don't think that Eren thinks that it's wrong.
Okay.
That being said, there is kind of a gray area here, though, because before Eren and Ryan are talking in the basement before the declaration of war, he says, "I've seen people. I know that they all live. Like, I know that they're not all monsters. Yada yada yada." And I think that Eren is capable of recognizing humanity and recognizing that something's wrong and immoral, but he's still going to do it if it means his end goal, which is survival for paradise.
Oh yeah.
So,
and that's one of the.
I think that there is a lot of guilt with him.
Yeah, and I think it's also worth noting that if we look at just the show in and of itself and like the way that it's structured, the beginning of the show, the first thing that we have ever seen, the first like true act of violence by that like is associated with the main character is Eren's mother being killed when he had no way of knowing why. Yeah. So I guess if we're like again, we're coming full circle on like why all this is happening, I guess there is, again, that sense of guilt kind of has to be there. because you don't just
experience that and then expect.
Right.
Yeah, because he's very clearly capable of understanding how other people feel. He's very like it's weird because I don't think Isayama created something that's not quite a sociopath but not quite a narcissist with this character. Like, I don't really think that there's a true psychological framework for what Eren is. Which is one of the things that makes him fascinating. We can tell that he has those tendencies.
Yeah.
However, we also know that he's genuinely capable of empathy.
Yeah.
So Eren's a very weird character. I hope we get more from his POV and an inner monologue.
Yeah.
But as far as just understanding why he's doing what he's doing, we do actually have that info now.
For sure. Last thing on this point, something that I noticed in the episode, and it was actually at the point where Mikasa decided to take back the scarf.
Yeah.
And the girl that Mikasa saved, her final words. It's where I realized that there is a foil between Mikasa and this girl. In the same way that Mikasa has decided at a very young age to follow Eren despite everything, to follow in his footsteps, so too has this girl done to her. And it's very fitting that Mikasa didn't say anything and simply had her back faced as she said that. As she said those final words on her deathbed, really.
That's one of the things that, because Mikasa like does not get character moments very often.
And we talked about, and like I did make a reaction in the episode that you kind of said we'd save for later. The anime does, or the manga does have moments where Mikasa like takes charge and like has like an action, like makes choices, but they are still centered around Eren. And yes, like the traumatic thing and like maybe not love, like it's kind of like flippant about like what exactly the relationship is.
Yeah.
But regardless, it's still centered around an individual.
I'd agree with that.
That's why I say even though the manga does have Mikasa have more agency, it's still like centered around.
It's still centered around Eren, which I mean, we talked about this on the channel for a very long time.
Yeah.
Mikasa's character has always been problematic for the fact that like if you take Eren out of the story, she has nothing.
Yeah.
She doesn't have any of her own individual action. Like nothing that she does is well informed.
Yeah.
That being said, plenty of the other female members of the cast are a fucking bomb.
Yeah.
I mean, like
Tanji, Annie, fucking what's her name? Hitch.
I nearly called her little Sasha.
Gabby, Yelena, even.
Yeah.
Like they're all
extremely strong, well-written characters. So it's really just Mikasa who's like in the main three members of the cast that for some reason is like the most poorly written out of the group.
That's the thing. He's gone out of his way, Isayama, to write this character in a trope.
Yeah.
And then has gone out of his way in season 4 to like fucking what's it called, like to hone in on it and to deconstruct it.
Yeah.
Because, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even realize that until I heard the voice say it, and I was like, wait,
that's actually a really good point, because one of the things that like we don't talk about Attack on Titan a lot about is because this is just something that comes up in the content that it creates.
Yeah.
But like ultimately everyone knows that this should never have been marketed as a shonen.
Yeah.
But there's also been a lot of scenes in it that have deconstructed the shonen genre extremely well. Everyone remembers season 1 with Levi Squad.
Honestly, when fucking Eren was like, I'm gonna get revenge for the person who just died in front of me and I'm the main character, dies like...
Yeah.
It's like instantly.
Yeah, exactly. So the idea that potentially, because again, we clearly know that he can write women very well.
Yeah.
The fact that he... essentially, if Mikasa is actually a deconstruction of that trope in anime, I would actually fucking love that.
I think given the scene and the taking back of the scarf, and again, if you notice, Mikasa has the scarf, but she is not wearing it.
Yes.
That's the biggest thing. And it's a subtle thing, but it's there. So I think that is what Isayama is doing. And it's something that I honestly didn't even pick up on a...
But here's the thing, I don't necessarily think you're wrong. I don't have a good counter argument for that.
I mean,
because
here's the thing.
The evidence is very clear that he can write good female characters.
Yeah, it's not like it's
not My Hero.
Yeah.
Like
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Oh no. Okay. Yep. He can do it, and honestly, for Mikasa, as a main character who's like latched onto the other main character, and like has this like affection to him, and for it all to just come crashing down in this final season, and for her to like take a stand on her own, I wouldn't be mad at it, and especially on a rewatch, it would be very fascinating to like go, because again, that cabin scene is not romantic.
No, it's not. But she romanticized it.
Yes.
So like, fuck. Oh, that's a whole other video, man. If that's the case, I would love to just sit down and deconstruct that. Actually, I will rewatch the entire show.
I just gotta like think. And again, I'm not saying this as like a person who like read the manga is like, oh yeah, I know exactly what he's doing. I had that like
this is like in this conversation,
and it's something that like text alone just doesn't convey.
Yeah,
there's a lot of things that just are elevated by the medium of animation, but really good stuff, honestly, with that whole scene.
That's a whole.
Yeah, right.
That's really smart. Yeah. I really like that.
Next up is all the bullshit with the Jaegerists.
Oh man,
the squad is together. Annie gets reintroduced. It's a fun time. That whole pie scene.
We love the pie scene.
It's great. I mean,
I was Connie in that moment though. Like the fact that like Connie's immediate reaction to that's the female Titan is that's my friend, and she's stuffing a bunch of pie in her face.
It's also because like he just came back from trying to kill a kid.
Yeah, like he's a little like
he's not well.
He's not well, but like the fact that he immediately diverted to that, and there was just no hostility immediately from her end or them. It's just an immediately like, how's it going?
Yeah. Well, because like they're just sitting in the shit. Like, the world's over.
Yeah.
It's like there's no point in fighting.
I'm not even gonna lie. I did not realize that was Annie next to them until that moment.
Yeah, you're not the only one. Even in a manga, like it was like her face was like shadowed a little bit. So like we all were like, "Is that Annie?" And then the next page is just like a full shot of her, just like with like a mouthful of pie. But anyways, the execution of the volunteers, Yelena and Onyankopon, really highlights the things that we've been saying about Attack on Titan fans.
Yep. I finally started getting to the part of it. So like our Scope TikTok account, like we haven't been able to post much lately because our TikTok person is out on assignment. However, we have somehow ended up on Jaegerist TikTok. I don't know how it happened.
I mean, it's probably the memes. Like, here's the thing. The Jaegerists are like, I feel like they joke about the rumbling, but we're joking about it out of, like, what's it called? Panic? Like,
it's
like
gallows humor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Meanwhile, it's like, everyone else is like, yeah, the rumbling, teach him a lesson. I'm going to defend Eren no matter what he does. And we're all like, man, that's... We finally got to the point where everyone's like, yeah, if you're a Jaegerist, that's kind of a big fucking red flag, buddy.
You did not read the...
You're the people that watched Fight Club and was like, I love Tyler Durden. That's who you are.
And even it's like, it's so on the nose, and I'm glad it is.
Yeah.
Because again, as we talked about before we started season 4 part 2, this is something that the show needed to do.
Yeah.
To basically be like, this is wrong. These are not the good guys, and to basically have the only black character in the show basically going like, oh, I helped you, and now you're just gonna go kill everybody? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And, in Black History Month, no less.
I wasn't gonna say
Black History Month. Come on. You're racist too? Jaegerists? Come on.
Oh man. It is what it. I was so happy with the scene, very clearly spelling it out, because we have been living in the moral gray in Attack on Titan for a long time, and like the more Flock is left in charge and the more screen time he has, it's like, yeah, okay, these are the bad guys. Yep. We can all agree these are the bad guys.
Again, nobody likes Flock. If you like Flock, Why? I mean, I like him in like a I can't wait for him.
I can't wait for him to die. I initially, when he pushed, I thought that the Cart Titan was just going for the assassination on Flock. I did not realize that it was a retrieve and rescue mission.
Yeah, you were like
way more sense.
You went like, yes, good Flock. Oh no, John, and then you were like, oh wait.
Oh yeah, they can just keep him inside and it's fine.
And that was the reason why. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, they should have taken Flock.
I kind of agree. Like, could you have a match? Like, that was an opportunity.
Yeah, to take down like that
you just cut the head off the snake because they don't actually. He's just flying from the seat of his pants right now. We talked about this previous episodes. I do not in any way believe that Eren actually put that motherfucker in charge. I mean, I fully believe that like he may have had some involvement and helped organize the Jaegerist, but he just saw a power vacuum and took it.
Yeah. And it's weird that they were just like, because this leaves an opportunity. Because here's the thing. Oh,
there's a dog barking profusely outside. I think our levels cancellation's doing
cool.
it.
All right, we're good.
Take care of it.
But it's weird that it's weird that they didn't take him with him, especially considering the fact that he caught on to it. He's like, Mikasa needs to go after him because Mikasa's obviously like the only good soldier in this whole regiment. And then he's like, wait, where is she?
Mikasa.
So he's not dumb, Flock. He's not. Here's the thing. Flock is many things. He is not an idiot.
Well, that's the thing.
He is leading.
He is leading. I think that he is. Well, I don't think that he's a genius.
No. Let me stop you right there.
I think he's a charismatic son of a bitch.
Yes. And he knows how to he knows how to command.
Yeah.
And he can read situations like fair enough.
Yeah. And like you have to remember, like he's been riding kind of the same status as the main troop because he's one of the people that survived bring back Shinganshima.
Yeah.
So he's had a lot of power and recognition for a while that would allow him to kind of build this.
Yes. So it's just weird that they were like, we're just going to take Jean, Yelena, and Onyankopon.
I hope that there was a reason why they left him. Otherwise, then that's just
honestly,
a plot hole.
Maybe they're just like you. They don't see him as a threat. I mean, which is valid.
There is a giant fucking bony spine titan just commanding a bunch of colossals.
They've got bigger fish to fry.
Yeah,
other than fucking
quite literally
fucking Flock. All right. Anyways,
I saw a post that he's like the 1% of bacteria that soap just won't kill.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's true.
It's anyway, the alliance.
I don't have anything else to add to that.
There was one thing you were pointing out is like,
sure,
we did not get a plan flashback.
Oh yeah, Attack on Titan, they do that a lot. Like they're like, I think they've done it like
every time that we've had a successful plan that has been pulled off, they'll flashback.
They just do the plan and then they're like, all right, let me tell you what happened, and then simultaneously they make that another moment. They never just like explain the plan after it's happened for like a recap filler or whatever. They always like make it a point to have like character moments
and you're intercutting.
Yeah. So I guess when they explain the plan, because
they're gonna have to.
Yeah.
Well, there is an unfortunate law of fiction that plays out here, and there's a reason why they do this. And honestly, any smart writer knows about this.
Okay.
If you explain what a plan is before the plan is executed, then by law the plan is gonna have to fail in some way.
Yes.
Because otherwise you're just telling the audience what will happen, and if that just happens, then your audience is going to have zero attention.
Yeah.
The other alternative is to be like, I have a plan, and then show the plan happening while it's being explained, which means that's going to happen, which is how you portray a successful plan. Mm-hmm. Now, there might be a hiccup in there, but ultimately it should usually come out to the final piece.
Right.
There is a somewhat third option.
Mm-hmm.
Where you can do part of column A, but also part of column B, and have the plan still fail based off of when you start to explain. So like they just explained that 4 gunshots, that's our signal, we're leaving now. And it's very clear that the Jaw Titan grab. So like clearly that's how they explained the plan for them getting together. Unfortunately, the second that they start explaining what their plan is to take down Eren, it's not gonna work if they start explaining it before it happens.
That is an astute observation from a writer. Whether or not it plays out, who the fuck knows? Because Attack on Titan's full of, fucking crazy surprises.
There will always at least be a complication.
Yeah.
It just, depends on how big the complication is. In this case, it's
a colossal.
It's a colossal
complication. It's fucking huge.
It's really fucking big.
I mean, they're already dealing with a complication. The complication is Eren is going to destroy the world.
Yeah, it's looking real bad.
Anyways, the Alliance is now formed in full. Pretty much all of our main cast, the original scouts at the very least, minus Eren and technically Bertolt, are here.
Bertolt's kind of.
And same thing with the Ymir. Ymir, because, Jaw Titan.
Yeah, that is fair.
So in a sense, we've got everybody from season 1, plus like the people that we've grown to love in season 4, part 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Before we talk about how the dynamics are going to play out, we should talk about Yelena real fast.
Yeah.
Because Yelena is being kept alive.
She don't deserve it.
I said this. She doesn't, but at the same time...
Whatever Magath has planned, honestly, I'm really curious about this.
Because if the alternative is dying, like, by the hands of the Jaegerists.
But clearly... I don't think Magath has anything nice planned for Yelena.
Yeah, I mean, judging by his fucking face that we saw when it cut back to him, that's the "you're fucked" face.
Yeah, no, it's
I'm going to make your life a living hell.
And I mean, okay, I will say betraying Marley, that's one thing. I can forgive betraying Marley, but all the other shit that her and Zeke were trying to pull, like,
okay, again, here's the strange thing: Yelena didn't want the rumbling to happen.
No.
But because she betrayed Marley, and because she worked with Zeke, and because she orchestrated the entire plot, the Jaegers were able to take over, and now the rumbling's happening.
Exactly.
So she inadvertently
caused the rumbling.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, she was trying to essentially sterilize all of... She was trying to sterilize all of Eldia.
Yeah.
So it's... Yeah. She has no good horse in this race.
Well, here's the thing. Here's another thing. If there's anyone to pay like for this, is it her? That's a question.
Well,
because
I actually think that there's 4 people.
Okay.
I do think she's on that list.
Okay.
But I think that like
for sure she's definitely on the list.
She's on the list, but like ultimately it kind of comes down to
clearly Eren,
Zeke,
Yelena.
And I would say the other people that are responsible for this whole mess are the faceless people that have already died at the Declaration of War. Like,
who'd that be?
Oh, the Marley leaders, the Marley world leaders, the military brass, the people who are responsible for the giant fucking mess of this have already kind of paid their price.
Basically the 100-year campaign.
Yeah, they're already gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that's the thing is like that government has already been decimated. Mm-hmm. It is essentially just being led by Magath, who again is an Eldian sympathizer. Like things, again, it's that shame. It's that really big shame of like the two sides just did not know what was actually going on for each other. So we had this dramatic irony of two sides that were worth rooting for, at least not with the Marleyan government, but with Magath and the and the warriors in the warrior unit.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to see how Yelena what happens to her.
Honestly, like perfect world. All this, we get the happy ending. She gets charged as a war criminal, and war crimes are invented.
The Geneva Convention.
Yeah, because clearly there was never a fucking Geneva Convention in this world.
Oh, yeah, no, people are just doing war crimes because they feel like it.
Yeah, no, it's just fine to do war crimes in this world. I mean, Titan warfare itself feels like it should be a war crime inherently.
Oh, it is.
So,
I mean, it's all war, so who the fuck cares?
Well,
that's like the mindset of the people.
I'm just saying, if we're talking Geneva Convention, like, you have, essentially human experimentation / poisoning / like
like M40s.
I mean, like, I'm just saying, turning the civilians of another place into monsters that then eat civilians is a war crime.
Yeah.
I don't know what stature it falls under in the Geneva Convention, like maybe chemical warfare, but actually biological
warfare, but also like technically like what's it called psychological warfare, and also like what's it called like technically imprisonment, because like you're like keeping them in a state. Anyways, let's try and save the world before we talk about the fucking Geneva Convention first. Okay, now the alliance is together, and we've got a bunch of people. I mean, I'm just gonna say it, like, who were enemies, who are just trying to put it aside to try and come together. How do you think this is gonna play out?
I actually kind of have like some high-ish hopes.
Okay.
First of all, I see some dynamics that are going to be a lot of fun to explore. First of all, I mean, we have Gabby and Falco with everyone else, and also I just want to say Gabby and Falco have done a remarkably good job of winning over like literally everybody in this group.
It's because they're kids.
It's because they're kids.
That's the only, like, if anybody can like get everybody out of it, I don't even think it's Armin. I think it's Gabby and Falco.
Yeah, no, I agree. And again, that's the reason why they're in the story, is they're supposed to represent a future where these cycles of hatred can be broken.
Yep.
And these people are kind of stuck in it. Connie is going to tell Reiner to shut the fuck up at least once, and Annie will probably join him.
Yeah.
I actually see Annie's relationship to the former
Scouts.
To the former, well, yeah, to the to our original scouts being significantly better, and probably she might be even more friendly to them than she would Reiner. In all honesty, Berthold's not here. Well, I mean,
he's here in spirit.
He's here in spirit, and his memories are here.
Yeah.
We're gonna finally get to explore Armin and Annie. Arnie. We're going into the Arnie world.
That Arnie ship. I love it. I need it.
The fact that they made the choice to put them in the same frame together.
That's pretty telling.
Yeah, it's like, okay, yeah, that's probably gonna happen, at least in some aspect.
Because here's the thing. You don't just like keep someone company in a endless, perpetual, darkened state for 4 years and then not develop feelings.
That could also be called Stockholm Syndrome.
Well, no, because she put herself in the crystal.
Oh, she actively didn't. God fucking damn it, Abraham. I nearly just said, "Oh yes," and then continued.
Yeah, I was trying to make you break with the Stockholm.
Oh, okay.
No.
Maybe a little bit of both sides. Who knows? I will say, Armin and Annie might happen. It will be a little fucked up. All
definitely
things considered.
Weird, considering how the fact that everyone's gonna die.
Yeah, it's like it's not looking up for everyone. If Mikasa has an actual opinion on anything, I will be stunned. I'm sorry, that's just how I see Mikasa having been written, but there's a chance that because of all the other stuff that we've been seeing, he might finally break that trope of her being permanently connected to Eren, and finally she might be doing something on her own.
Honestly, I wish Mikasa would take more of a position like Hanji would, like Hanji's.
Yeah.
Like where she's like, 'cause here's the thing, like Hanji to Erwin is Mikasa to Annie.
Yeah.
Like someone who's like let's talk strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, like kind of like that kind of deal, a confidant.
Yeah, and I would love to see her taking a more active approach. That being said, like one thing that I'm very curious about is when we finally start getting oh wow, when we finally start getting Reiner plus Connie plus Jean. That's where things are going to get way more dicey, and I don't think that teamwork is really going to be on the table. Like I honestly I see Jean being able to work with Magath and Peak before I could see him being able to work with Reiner.
Oh yeah, because he actively betrayed them.
Yeah,
they're responsible for the death of
like
almost all of his friends.
I think the only person here who's going to have a truly level head on people is going to be Hanji and Armin. Those are the only two people that I see that are going to be able to get all their shit together as far as who they're going to be able to work with. I could see Armin kind of blowing up on a person specifically. Honestly, all the big red flags are Reiner. Like, I think that this team could be a well-oiled machine if they just dropped Reiner. Here's the thing, like, he's been doing work. He's been working on himself. But these are still ultimately the people who he took everything from. And ultimately, he's still kind of responsible for all this mess.
Yeah, he's the one who drove everybody like into he's the driving factor behind why the walls fell in the first place. Yeah.
Like he's been having his character arc. We know he's been doing work, but not everyone's going to see that, and they're certainly not going to forgive him.
Yeah, I mean, I said it before. They didn't even know Peak's name.
Yeah,
like these people don't like. Here's the thing: they don't know Reiner because for all the time that they've known him, he has been someone who has actively tried to harm them.
Yeah,
there has never been a moment where Reiner has talked to Connie, to Armin, to Mikasa, like as in the same way that like Annie has done for Armin.
Yeah.
That has never happened for Reiner.
Yeah.
You know, because like even Annie had like moments where you could tell that she was wavering. Yeah. You could tell that like she was like, I just don't want to do this. Yeah.
And I mean, again, the kiddos are going to be kind of the sticky glue to all this. Like they're going to be keeping the parents together.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God.
It really comes down to that. I'm sorry. I really don't want to say it, but I think Falco might end up being useless as a Titan. We'll see. He just got his Titan powers.
There's only 4 more episodes left. It's kind of crazy.
This season. I think.
Oh man.
My head's at like they're gonna try launching their counter assault now, like next episode probably. But we're probably. I think like whatever's going on in the rest of this is going to be packed into that movie.
Probably, because again, there's a lot. I think there's probably after this, I can imagine maybe another 10 to 15 chapters being left.
Yeah, and we know that like those chapters are basically they turn into full episodes almost.
I will say also, there's going to be action too. So action may reduce the
actual page
runtime
count. Yeah.
So who knows? I mean, hey, we have everybody together. This is honestly a great way to finish off the season, and I am hype.
The hero shot at the end is really all I needed, and I was like, oh yes, and then the title card happens. I'm like, no.
But anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm just ready. All right, well,
we'll be here next week.
Yeah, we will. Until that time, go ahead and leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought about this episode and our discussion. Do you think that we're wrong in any of our points? If you do, go yourself. Just wanted to throw that out there. I don't mean that. I love you guys. Seriously, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel and liking the video. It always helps us out and helps us grow. Until next time, my name is Abraham. That's Ben, and this has been another episode of 2Fast2Movie.
Jesus fuck! Why is this the It's because we're filming later in the day. That has to be what it is.
Go yourself.